How to Reinvent Your Business by using OODA Loop. Is a term coined by Colonel John Boyd way back in the 1950s as part of a military strategy to know the opponent's move and thus form strategies accordingly. Ooda stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. The Ooda Loop process is a brilliant tool to reinvent company or a business. The tool helps you with a strategic process that starts with the observation. During the observation phase, you look at what's happening around you and gather as much data as possible from as many sources as possible. The next O stands for Orient, which is a phase where you make sense of the observations made. You decipher the relevant information from the insignificant. You make sense of the data and gain insights during this process. The next process is to decide on options and select one path. Then, finally, you move on to action, which is the execution, and the loop continues. One classic example of applying the Ooda Loop is how LinkedIn keeps reinventing itself. On May 5, 2003, LinkedIn went live. As few as 20 people joined per day. At PayPal, the previous company he founded, Reid Hoffman had experienced viral growth. He designed LinkedIn to expand similarly through innovations sent from one professional to another. Yet he noticed that people wanted to know who else was using LinkedIn, so that they could decide whether to join. After observing what customers are doing with the data they had, at LinkedIn, they had to orient or interpret that information to decide on a new course of action, eventually which led to changing the features of the site. As a result, they added the address book feature to LinkedIn, letting users see which of the contacts were already using LinkedIn. Consequently, the site gained traction. Another story of Ooda Loop is about how Bourbon became Instagram. Bourbon let users check in at particular locations, make plans for future check-ins, earn points for hanging out with friends, and post pictures of the meetups. After the observation stage, the founders found out that the users weren't using Bourbon's check-in features at all. They oriented and interpreted the information that users were using more of the app's photo sharing features. They decided to add more features to the photo sharing app, like adding great filters of photos. After months, they took action and named Bourbon to Instagram. Ooda Loop is a great tool to reinvent your business. In the observation phase, you must make sense of your current and future threats and obstacles. You need to orient its impact. You need to then decide on a new course of action and finally act on it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe.